Former President Donald Trump is now in New York ahead of an historical surrender and arraignment.
Dozens of his supporters were there to send him off as his motorcade left from Mar-a-Lago this morning.
In just hours, Trump will become the first former or sitting president ever to appear in court charged with a crime.
And we have live team coverage on it all. Ben Kennedy is standing by in Washington with reaction from lawmakers. But we begin with Local 10's Glenna Milberg in Manhattan, where the judge just made a major decision on cameras in the courtroom. Glenna.
He did, Nicole. There will be no news cameras, video cameras in that courtroom, and only 5 still photographers to be taken in minutes before to do some shooting and then leaving before the arraignment starts. That is such a departure from what is supposed to be a very common public process in criminal justice. This judge saying that it is a nod to security for what will happen tomorrow, this unprecedented arraignment of a former president charged as a criminal.
On arraignment eve in the Golden Tower bearing his name, former President Donald Trump strategized with his attorneys. Below on the street, the world's media keeps vigil. This crew came all the way from New Zealand, and the public weighs in.
You know, the saying goes, forever is you can indict a ham sandwich.
The former president arrived to his Midtown home late afternoon ahead of his first court appearance downtown, the first American president to be charged as a criminal. The specific charges in the grand jury indictment to be unsealed Tuesday as part of that court proceeding, though the Manhattan DA has been investigating the hush money payments to porn star Stormy Daniels in the run-up to Trump's 2016 election.
Trump, free my brother Trump! That's what's up!
The indictment to Mr. Trump's strongest supporters is another political witch hunt. They rallied for him as he departed Mar-a-Lago Monday morning and on New York City's Fifth Avenue at night. The city blocks are closed and high security, where Mr. Trump will be, escorted throughout by Secret Service. NYPD coordinating a massive response to an unprecedented event, knowing the history of Mr. Trump's most extreme supporters.
People like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is known to spread misinformation and hate speech. She stated she's coming to town.
But I will remind everyone that violence and destruction are not part of legitimate, lawful expression, and it will never be tolerated in our city.
So tonight, we understand that Mr. Trump's lawyers have really coordinated a lot of the process tomorrow with the court employees so that it goes fairly smoothly. And so that means a lot of differences from what usually goes on. Other court cases are being suspended, nothing else going on at the courtroom at the time. Mr. Trump will be taken in and out away from public view. He will be surrendering, be fingerprinted. He will not be in handcuffs at all before he goes in for his formal arraignment into the courtroom. And then he will be released on his own recognizance to get back on a plane and fly back to South Florida tomorrow. I'm Glenna Milberg, live in New York tonight in front of Trump Tower, Local 10 News.
And Glenna, before we let you go, you talked about the sealed indictment in your report. But what about hearing the charges? I know there's been a lot of speculation. We really don't know what the charges are going to be. But what are we going to hear tomorrow in terms of releasing information from the sealed indictment against former President Trump?
Right. That actually will be very much part of the normal process of an arraignment. So the grand jury issues this indictment. The indictment remains sealed. You're right. Nobody knows, except for the people involved, what those charges are. A lot of the speculation and maybe some reading the tea leaves is that it's going to be about this hush money payments because A, that's what the DA here has been investigating, and B, there is a lot of evidence that they have relative to that from other court cases and from text messages, from phone calls. And so while that might seem like a sort of benign kind of crime in the grand scope of what Mr. Trump has been going through legally, that really can rise to the level of things like election fraud, bank fraud, and if it has to do with intent to sway the election, that would be very important. But that's the opening. A reading of that is very much part of the arraignment. They can read it formally unless Mr. Trump says, listen, I've got it beforehand. We're reading it so you don't have to go through the whole thing. But then it does become a public document. So a lot to learn tomorrow about what will go on from here, certainly.
It'll be a big political production in the Big Apple. Our Glenna Milberg is right there with the front row seat. We'll check in with you tomorrow. Thanks a lot, Glenna.